This Misty Minute is inspiration. Ladies and gentlemen, as people, as human beings, as individuals, we all draw from inspiration. And as drag queens, I want you to find inspiration from both good and bad. Meaning, when you're out in a club or when you're out in an atmosphere, whether you're performing or not, if you're just in the audience, watch the show. Observe everything that's happening around you. You can be inspired by people that just started doing drag. You can be inspired by legends. I will tell you 2 examples of inspiration from me. My first inspiration is a negative inspiration. Meaning, when I first started doing drag, or actually before I started doing drag, I went to a club in Miami. And this club in Miami is called Ozone. And I saw a fierce goddess, a legendary, amazing entertainer, former national title holder many times. I'm not going to say any names, it's not important. But I was watching the show, having a good time, and I was watching the MC and I'm absorbing. Because when you're a new drag queen, you have to be a sponge and you have to pull from everything. And the MC was so drunk. She was so drunk, she fell off the stage and onto her face. Plastered out of her mind. And I was so put off. And the audience lived for her. Like, her regular fans were like, woo, amazing. And they're like clapping and laughing because she fell on her face. And then she was so drunk, she just laid on the floor and emceed from the floor, like, blah, blah, blah. I was inspired by her to never be a drunk. Because it touched me in such a negative way that I never want to be that. And so when I'm performing and when I'm seeing, I always think to myself, ooh, check. Am I getting messy? Because I don't want my audience to ever have to live through that, ever. And my positive inspiration, I draw my positive inspiration from Dana Manchester. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to meet her. In fact, my first drag show ever in Florida was at her benefit, but a little tiny bar called The Galley in Naples, and there were drag queens that came hours away. Girls from Fort Lauderdale, girls from Tampa, girls from Jacksonville, girls from Orlando came for her benefit, and I was like, wow, this entertainer is loved. A lot of people love her. And now that I live in Fort Lauderdale, I hear stories about how amazing she was and how much she gave of herself for the community. And that has inspired me to be the Misty Eyez that I am today. You know, I'm on the board of Stonewall, and I help make sure that the Fort Lauderdale gay community does have pride events and Halloween Wicked Manners for the last 3 years. And you know, I donate my time to these functions to make sure that the gays are having a good time and have Fierce and Fabulous. And it means a lot to me to be able to give everyone a good time. And that's my good inspiration. So be inspired. I went to a talent night show in Tampa, and talent night's another word for like amateur show. You know. And she was wearing electrical tape taped around her legs and arms, and it looked amazing, and across her chest. And I was like, whoa, I'm going to do that one day. And I have. I've done it for shows. And I was inspired by a girl that just started. So you never know where you can draw your inspiration from. So be inspired. That was a Misty Minute.